Good morning, good morning.
Good
Yes, we're back again with another episode of Sunday Shenanigans. Amen, amen. I am so glad to be here this morning. My, y'all. Today was Youth Sunday, and the youth triumph at SOAT showed up and showed out. Oh my God, the spirit fell so heavy in the place this morning, and I'm so glad about it. I mean, I'm still excited and worked up from just service on today. Amen.
Well, amen. We were looking for a miracle.
Yeah, and we found one. We found our miracle in the house today. Today we had Miss Brittany, one of our young adults, gave a few minutes of words of encouragement, and she came from John chapter 1, verse 16, and she talked about grace upon grace.
Oh, yes, she did.
My. Grace. We don't even deserve it, but God gives it to us.
Amen.
And she gave us an example how she was in the store. And she was becoming impatient with the worker.
That's right.
And she went on to say that the Spirit spoke to her, and she realized she was just flat out being impatient with the young lady.
Amen.
But the most important message that Brittany brought is that she realized where she had went wrong at, and she made it right.
She made it right.
She apologized.
Amen.
So how can we expect to receive grace from God when we ourselves are not willing to give grace?
Ooh, you hit the toenail right there.
We need to think about that one. How are we expecting grace and mercy from God, and we don't want to give none?
Don't want to give none.
Don't want to give none.
We being selfish.
Being selfish. Ooh. Our assistant pastor preached today, and she came out of Genesis, chapter 22. And now she went over the text, verses 1 through 14, but Miss Osborne's going to read verses 1 through 2. Okay. Genesis chapter 22, verses 1 through 2.
Okay, and it goes like this. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thou son, thou only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of.
And that concludes the reading of the text. Amen. What a powerful message today. Ooh. She titled the topic,
Pass the Test.
Pass the test.
Yeah, pass the test now.
Can you pass the test?
Yes.
Something to think about. Now, in the text, Isaac was called by God up on the mountaintop. And God asked him to sacrifice his only son. Now, we all know God gave us his only begotten son.
Yes.
We all know that. But now it's up to Abraham to give her sacrifice.
What you saying?
And Abraham was willing.
Yeah.
How many of us are willing to up and go when God calls us?
Boy, you hit it.
Or how many of us hesitate?
We'll hesitate.
How many of us procrastinate?
You procrastinate.
But Isaac was ready and willing to give that sacrifice.
Okay, now.
That's something to think about.
Something to think about.
We got to be ready and willing to give that sacrifice when God calls.
Amen.
But Isaac didn't have to sacrifice his son, but it's just the point that he was ready to take the test.
Okay.
And he passed the test. So we need to be getting ready to pass this test.
And you could tell Abraham been taking his son Isaac there because, hey, you know, he said, where's thy sacrifice?
Where's thy sacrifice?
Yeah, where's that now?
Where's that? It was his son.
Right.
But he didn't have to give him a sacrifice.
What you said?
What are we willing to sacrifice for God? Got to be mindful. Tests come in all shape, forms, and fashions now. You may just be in the store somewhere and you lose patience, right? And you may miss out on the blessing because you getting restless. You getting impatient. You're not giving grace. You just ready. Got to go
Microwave,
right now.
Got to go.
We so used to this push button and everything happening now that we can't overlook what God is calling us to do. So Abraham was ready and willing, and he passed that test. Can you pass your test from God?
Can you pass the test?
Can you pass it? Have you been preparing? I know we oftentimes say, God, help me with my mouth. God, help me with my attitude. God, help me with these ways that I have. But how will you know that he's helped you? Not unless you be tried and tested. So you're going to be tried and you're going to be tested. But it's very important that we prepare ourselves so that we can pass the test like Abraham.
Amen.
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 So this day forward, we're going to make a commitment to God that we're going to be prepared the next time that test comes.
Yeah.
And we're going to pass the test. Amen.
Amen.
And I just want to show y'all, these are our youth shirts.
Ooh.
They were designed by the youth. They came up
Amen.
with the quote, living proof of a living testimony. John,
Yeah.
1st chapter, verse 16.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Until next time.